Hi, and welcome back to PMC Knives and Tools, and Happy New Year 2025 to everyone. I hope you all had a great Christmas and New Year wherever you are in the world. Sorry for the lack of updates lately, things have been very busy here at my end, and I thought I'd just do a quick catch-up video as well as talking about some of the things that I've been spending some time in my pocket and around getting used around the house recently. So, first of all, I have been chock-a-block with home life, which is why I haven't released as many videos recently. I do have several filmed, yet to be edited together, so we'll get that taken care of, and look for coming content in the next week or two. You know it's what it's like with this channel, guys. I don't do it full time, I don't do it for a living, it's just a hobby. You can't rely on me to put content out there, every Tuesday at 9 AM. It's just not like that. I'll get round to it. Don't hang your hat on it. So let's see, where do we start today? Right, got a couple of gifts from my wonderful family for Christmas. Actually, 3 new pocket knives. Let's start with this one. This is the Marbles GI Jack, which is based on the old Camelus US Army survival knife, and also would be, broadly inspired by the kind of British Army, the Sheffield British Army knife as well. Both of which have this pry tool flathead screwdriver type bit here, and this can/bottle opener. Slip joint knife, aluminium scales, all riveted together, so it's not serviceable. Very, very traditional, very solidly built. No walk and talk, no blade play, no lateral movement, nothing like that. Very sharp out the box. Great baler loop, which I think may be the only knife I have which has one of these. I would need to check, but I think it may be. Nice little sheep's foot type, fully flat grind blade there. If fits in the hand, lovely. UK legal. If I had one slight criticism, and it's a very slight one, I'd rather that the nail nick on the blade was slightly further forward, so that you could sort of access it ever so slightly more comfortably without having to just use a tiny bit of the blade nail nick because the can opener is covering about half of it. But that aside, no complaints whatsoever. Works really, really well. MR598 steel from China, apparently, if that means anything to anyone. It seems to me a bit like 440 or 420 or that type of thing in terms of performance. You can still see a little bit of factory oil on it. I haven't used it extensively, but have carried it several days and enjoyed it, yeah. So that's a nice one for the collection. Happy with that. This one, that was a gift from my son, picked that one for me. This one here was a gift from my good lady wife, who knows me really, really well, knows I like traditional knives. So she got me this Marbles, what's it called? The Swingu Walkback. It has staghorn scales, brass nickel bolsters, brass liners, mid-lock back, 420 HC blade, which is like the same that they use on the blades of Leatherman multi-tools. Hollow grind, clip point, similar sort of blade style, almost to the Buck 110 sort of style shape. What they call a match striker nail nick. It's the nail nicks with the little grooves in them. And this novel and really useful blade guard here, which swings into place when you open the knife, and you can then avoid cutting your fingers when you're sharpening it. So that's really useful, and it means that if you're using the knife, whether you're sharpening it or in process of using it, your finger's not going to slip and accidentally touch the edge. I've used this one a lot over Christmas and New Year. As you can imagine, there's lots of toy boxes and things to cut up for the recycling, and it's incredibly comfortable in the hand. Sharpens really well, just with a quick strop or a run on a ceramic or what have you. Really, really love this one, so that's a firm favourite in the collection at the minute. My daughter picked this one for me. Now, I've had my eye on a real steel Luna for ages, and I almost bought one for myself several times. So I put it on my Christmas wish list to my family, and lo and behold, it turned up, and I was delighted with it. But after less than a week of having it in and out of my pocket, the little die-cast pocket clip snapped clean off, and it can't be replaced because it's riveted. So I've contacted Heine Haynes, which is the online retailer in the UK that it was purchased from by my wife on behalf of my daughter to give me for Christmas, and they are issuing a replacement, so I just need to post this back to them. So that's a bit of a disappointment. Other than that, I can say that the G10 handles are really, really comfortable, and the D2 blade came really sharp from the box, lovely flat grind, full length nail nick, ambidextrous, nice bit of underside jumping, no blade play, nice slip joint, nice and soft, but at the same time has a good half stop. Just a really nice pocket knife, completely UK legal EDC as well. But that's disappointing about the weakness, the fragility of the pocket clip. Just snapping clean off when I was getting out of the car. Hadn't even snagged on anything. So as you can see, it's die-cast metal and it's really thin as well. So that's a real shame. So we'll get that replaced, and because it can't be the pocket clip replaced, they'll have to replace the whole knife. That's a shame. What else has been happening? Chap in Ireland that I came across on social media was able to source me the long since out of production and discontinued Leatherman Squirt PS4. I've wanted one of these for ages, and I've never quite been able to lay my hands on one. They're not super rare, you know, they made plenty of them before they were discontinued, but I just hadn't got my hands on one. So this guy had a bunch of them for sale. He sent it over to me for a pretty reasonable price from his home in Ireland to my home in Scotland, and it was in a little bit of disrepair. You know, the edge was chipped and dulled. These are only chisel ground; they're kind of sharpened on one side only, and there was a rust spots all over the place and pocket lint in all the little areas and stuff. So I gave the whole thing a bit of a clean up and oiled it all and a wire brush and all that sort of stuff, and it's come up pretty decent. It has had a bit of a life, you can see that, but I like it. It's a nice thing, and it's absolutely tiny. Like, I can't really express how small it is. Here's my next tool mini sailor for comparison. You know, this thing is absolutely minuscule, toty. If I have one gripe, it's not about the build, it's purely about this particular one. It's that the spring on the inbuilt scissors on my Squirt is snapped off at some point in its life before it came to me. These are riveted in place, all the tools, so you can't quite replace it. I might be able to fashion some sort of fix on that. In the meantime, you can actually use the scissors just as a sort of, you know, manual action rather than spring loaded. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I still like it. So that's been occupying my fifth pocket in my jeans recently. A Benchmade bug out, one that I've never really fallen truly in love with, but it has been getting some pocket time recently just to try it out. My Gerber chonk, you all know this from my videos. Love this guy, never get sick of it. Gerber get a lot of stick for making bad products and novelty products and poor quality foreign imported products and stuff, but sometimes they just do it right, and this is one of those times. The Gerber chonk, man, it's indestructible, it's tactile, it's useful, it's not that expensive, but it's very, very well built. It's, you know, it's not like those cheap pry tools that you get for £5 or £1 or whatever on wish.com. I mean, this is a real bit of stuff. Excellent. Micarta, great bit of kit. Always have this in my pocket. Next tool, mini sailor. You saw this on a recent video. I took this apart recently to sharpen the scissors because my wife had accidentally nipped the keyring with the scissors. So I took the keyring off and sharpened the scissors. In order to do that, you have to dismantle the scissors, the two halves, take out the spring, which makes them spring loaded, sharpen them, and then reassemble the whole thing. So it was a little bit footery, but I got it done and got them nice and sharp. Still love this tool. And I gave the blade a little sharpen up while I was at it. Great little keychain pocket tool. As multi-tools go, for keychain size, you know, this is a lot better than the Gerber Vice or the Gerber Dime or that sort of thing. The Leatherman Squirt is of similar quality, although the Leatherman Squirt is even smaller, and therefore the tools are a bit more awkward to deploy. So if you're looking for, also it's discontinued. So if you're looking for a keyring multi-tool that's slightly more ease of use than the Squirt because it's slightly larger and is easier to get your hands on than the Squirt because the Squirt is discontinued, then the next tool is available, all online for like £25-ish, that sort of price. Great bit of kit, great scissors on it. The Ganzo Firebird, the Delica knockoff one, what's it called again? The F759M, not a very catchy name, in 440C. You've seen this in my videos before, you know I love it, quite often carry it, takes a wicked edge, takes all the abuse that I throw at it, which is not an insignificant amount. I've used this thing for cutting up vinyl flooring planks at work to install in people's houses instead of a Stanley knife. It is indestructible, absolutely wonderful value for money. And I don't actually own a Spyderco Delica because I own this. I own a bunch of Spyderco knives, but not a Delica, because I just don't see the point in buying a Delica when I already own this, and this is excellent. So there you go. That's been a firm favourite. What else has been happening? This guy. Hadn't carried this for a while. It's actually probably my favourite Victorinox, the 93mm AWOX X. Was it the... Oh, is it the Farmer? No. Can't remember. Can't actually remember the name of this model. There you go. That was stupid of me. It's not the Farmer. The Farmer's got a saw on it. Anyway, the 93mm AWOX, the one with the scissors. Love it to bits, and have decided to dig it out again recently and been carrying it in a little belt pouch. And it's always, no matter how many times I kind of put it in the drawer and forget about it, whenever I dig it out, I'm always impressed by the sheer sturdiness and robustness of it. It really is. I know the 93mm are, slightly overbuilt in comparison to the standard 91mm Victorinoxes, but this really highlights that. It's so sturdy and robust and chunky. All the tools are so snappy, and the blades are thicker, the tools are thicker, the springs are tight. It's just great. I love it, absolutely love it. Can't recommend these enough. Pioneer, there you go. I remember the name. It's the Pioneer X AWOX. So AWOX is the aluminium scales. Pioneer is the model, and the X indicates that it is the version which comes with scissors, hence the X. There you go, and you'd remember eventually. You guys don't rely on me for great information, I hope. Boker Trapper. This one has been getting a little bit of time recently, not so much in my pocket, but I was inspired to dig it out again. Not that I don't like it, I do, but I was inspired to dig it out again because of the arrival of the Marbles Swingu Walkback. Because I already owned the Boker Trapper, and the Marbles came along and took a place straight in my heart, but it reminded me somewhat of the Boker Trapper, which has the cut point blade and the spay blade, both of which are slip joints. So there they are, superficially similar with the, I think this is jigged bone as opposed to stag. This is stag antler, but nickel brass bolsters, brass liners, that kind of thing. Both very traditional. So that is why this guy came back out of hibernation, just for comparison to this, because I like them so much. What else have I been up to recently? As well as digging out bits from the collection that I haven't used in a while, like this, and this, and this. I've also been integrating the things that I've just gotten, like this, and this, and this. I've also been enjoying playing for the first time in ages with this 1911 Colt 1911 airsoft BB pistol. Bang. So that's been good fun. In terms of upcoming videos on the channel, I have recently been testing the Gerber Tri-Tip. Tri-Brid's a different one. Review to come out fairly soon for that. I've been testing it for weeks and weeks and weeks now, maybe months. you already know from watching my other videos featuring it that I love it, so that's a home run. And this Spyderco enough to wait and see on this one. So that is all for today. Big thumbs up to the Marbles, what's it called again? The Swing Guard Walkback, something like that. Stupid name, great knife. Enjoyed that one a lot. Other than that, have a great day, stay safe, stay sharp, take care.